What's going on, guys? Today what I want to do is I want to talk about the best time to train. This is a question that consistently comes up, and for the last decade people have been going back and forth about it, right? So there's been huge debates between people who think that you should be training in a fasted state versus people who think that you should train in a fed state. And not long ago, you know, probably a little bit over 10 years ago, back before YouTube, really, maybe even before YouTube was starting to be a major source of fitness information, a lot of people were doing fasted cardio, and they weren't training until they've had at least, you know, 3 or 4 meals, and that's what the muscle magazines were saying to do. And there is some legitimate evidence to suggest that that could be one way to go, but like anything in life, in fitness, and when it comes to science and biology and human physiology, the answer's not always so black and white as to say that everybody should be training in a fasted state or everybody should be training in a fed state. So first things first, and what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through a few different scenarios where fasted training or fed training could be better for you. But first things first, I want to get this out of the way. Regardless of anything else that I say in this video, the best time of day for you to train is when you can train. So if you've got a job or a lifestyle that doesn't allow you to choose whatever time of day you can train and you can only train in a small window, go with that time. All right, because the number one thing that's going to determine your success in fitness is going to be your ability to stay consistent. Can you stay on the plan day in and day out? And like I always say, I can create the best plan in the world for you with perfect nutrition and perfect training and optimized training times. But if you can't follow it, then it's not going to be worth anything to you. So train at the time of day that you can train. All right. Now, if you're asking me when the best time of day to train is, if you can choose the time of day when you train, I'll tell you a few different things. I train earlier in the day. So I do my resistance training earlier in the morning, and then I do my cardio probably about an hour or 2 before I break my fast. I do an intermittent fasting and ketogenic diet, right? So I'm doing a combination of those 2 things. So remember that I'm fueling myself with my own fat stores. So one reason why I like to get both my cardio and my resistance training done in a fasted state is because I'm trying to mobilize as much fat as possible. So one benefit of training in a fasted state is that you actually secrete more growth hormone when you're fasted. You add to that the fact that you're training and you're secreting more growth hormone on top of that. That gives me a really, really good start in mobilizing my fat stores to help to fuel me throughout the day. And I feel great after I train. And that's another thing. I don't like training on a full stomach because I don't feel really good when I have something in my stomach and I'm trying to train or I'm trying to do some cardio. I really don't feel very well when I'm doing that. But that's me and you're you. I do recommend that if you are doing a ketogenic or a low carb diet and you're fueling yourself with your own fat stores, I do suggest that training in a fasted state would probably be the best choice for you. But let's say you're not ketogenic and you're fueling yourself with glucose. In this case, doing resistance training, you'd probably be much better off after you've had some carbohydrates in your system because you're fueling yourself with glucose. So carbohydrates are actually going to add to your performance. And so if you're looking to build strength and you're looking to build muscle mass, and you are not on a ketogenic diet, then training after you've had a few carb meals could be a great choice. Now, what would I fuel myself with prior to doing those training sessions? Well, I would fuel myself with a little bit of fructose prior to the training session, so a piece of fruit. The reason why I suggest to do this is because it is going to help to build up your liver glycogen, and that way you're going to have a little bit of reserves while you're in your training session, and that can help you to get through it. and help you to call on those reserves if it's a really long and intense training session. After the workout, of course, you can fuel up and replenish some of that glycogen with some glucose-based carbs. But prior to the workout, doing a little bit of fructose is going to be best for you. I wouldn't do fructose after the workout because it's not going to help those muscles recover. And cardio. So if you are still fueling yourself with glucose and you're looking for the best time of day to do cardio, again, it really doesn't make a difference here, right? So you can burn just as much fat in a fasted state as you could in a fed state, and vice versa. So again, the best time of day for you to get your cardio done is going to be the best time of day for you to get your cardio done. So again, guys, none of these answers are simply black and white. I hate when people get up here and they try to, give these blanket statements about what's going to be good for you and what's not going to be good for you. There's only really suggestions. And the truth of the matter is that your lifestyle is your lifestyle. Some things might work out better for you than others, but the bottom line is, what's going to help you to remain consistent? How are you fueling yourself? Are you keeping yourself in a caloric deficit if you're trying to burn fat? Are you fueling yourself with the proper nutrients? Those are the big questions to ask. And it's a waste of time to really fiddle around with the best time of day to do cardio or to train if the rest of those things aren't covered. So that's what I got today, guys. I will be back at you tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to be talking about high intensity interval training and cardio versus steady state training. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't checked it out yet, check out my free keto course, my free starting keto course, where I deliver a full protocol for you to adapt into ketosis and a whole bunch of free tools. You can check that out at www.startketoright.com. Talk to you guys tomorrow.